Hi, good afternoon. I'm Kevin Franklin. I'm the Education Support Specialist at the Virginia Adult Learning Resource Center. And this afternoon, we're going to be talking about innovations and opportunities through partnerships that are encouraged by the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So we'll just begin by talking about the populations that will now be able to serve under WIOA that we were not able to serve under WIA. And these include, they're shown in the red, individuals who are English language learners, have low level of literacy, and individuals facing substantial cultural barriers. These groups will be determined by the governor of each state. You can see on the far right there, this is echoed. Such groups as the governor of each state determines have barriers to employment. So WIOA actually gives a wider latitude than WIA in having individual states be able to allow service to different populations. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act mandates partnership between programs within the U.S. Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Education, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Within the Virginia Department of Labor, the key partners, some of which are optional, others are mandated, are Job Corps, Wagner-Peisner Act, Perkins CTE, Youth Build, Workforce Resource Centers, and the VEC. Our state plan will identify which programs will be aligned and provide guidance for how that alignment will be implemented. The Virginia Department of Education programs include the Virginia Community College System and Adult Education and Literacy programs. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services programs will be administered in Virginia by the Virginia Department of Social Services. These include TANF and SNAP-E&T. It will be necessary to forge other partnerships, both on a state and program level, to ensure that Virginia's workforce and education goals are met and that the accountability measures of WIOA are fulfilled. These partners should include businesses and business organizations, such as the local and statewide chambers of commerce. Workforce development entities, such as Goodwill Industries and labor management organizations, are also valuable partners. And we can see here from the chart that adult ed really does have a role in providing this workforce development to individuals seeking services. You can see the foundational level right above soft skills or the academic competencies that individuals will need to succeed in the workplace. The Department of Labor has a great capacity to engage in workforce development activities and has also engaged in adult education and academics in the past. WIOA allows all agencies to reduce redundancies by engaging in activities at which agencies excel. By partnering with adult education programs, Department of Labor programs can now focus purely on workforce development and career pathways. WIOA mandates a national brand for workforce resource centers, signifying their role as one-stop centers for job seekers, education, and training. Under WIA, workforce resource centers often refer individuals to adult education programs. WIOA intensifies this partnership by requiring co-located education and training at one-stop locations. Co-location with workforce resource centers has potential benefits for adult education in the aspects of retention and gains reporting. Individuals seeking services are entered into an integrated data management system which will provide the necessary wage reporting and employment gains data required for accountability under WIOA. In most cases, adult education programs do not have the capacity to provide comprehensive workforce development services. Therefore, it is necessary to partner with a Department of Labor program to become compliant with WIOA. Further, the career focus of instruction may be a motivating factor for students, leading to increased retention. One potential challenge is that WIOA centers on the needs of workforce development, not academic development. In partnering with Department of Labor programs, adult education programs should be aware that we may not always speak the same language when it comes to the needs and outcomes of our population. Common measures and the Unified State Plan are attempts to bridge the gaps between Department of Labor and Department of Education programs. This intensified partnership will require integrated data and metrics, as well as training on assessments and overlapping policies. Many local adult education programs provide GED and ESL classes at local one-stop centers. Under WIOA, further resources will need to be devoted to courses held at workforce resource centers. SNAP recipients in Virginia have the option to utilize education and training services. Adult education and literacy services, including distance education, may be counted toward these services. Therefore, adult education programs have the opportunity to partner with SNAP E&T grant recipients to provide these services to pilot programs and more. Adult education programs may also apply for grant funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to run SNAP E&T pilot programs. Called VIEW, or the Virginia Initiative for Employment Not Welfare, Virginia TANF providers are required to be co-located in one-stop centers as per WIOA. Currently, the program is administered in local DSS offices. TANF recipients are required to participate in a form of education and/or training as specified by the Virginia Department of Social Services. However, ABE, ESL, and GED instruction cannot be counted toward education and training during the initial 20-hour requirement. After that, non-core activities such as GED instruction may be used to comprise the additional 15 hours minimum needed for program participation. Adult education and literacy providers can be useful to TANF providers by allowing access to industry or workforce partners, vocational instruction, or on-the-job training for recipients. The Department of Aging and Rehabilitative Services, or DARS, and adult education programs are both part of a network designed to help individuals with barriers to employment. If, for example, an individual seeking a diagnosis of a disability from DARS mentions that they need assistance with education and training, DARS may refer that individual to adult education services. DARS provides low-cost services to individuals with disabilities and may be used as a referral resource for individuals seeking assessment accommodations. As seen in the geospatial technology competency model, adult learners need a foundation of academic competencies before more complicated technological proficiencies can be fully developed. Therefore, adult education has a role in the overall goal of workforce development to help students gain foundational academic competencies so that they can achieve success in a community college or career setting. Community colleges have the great opportunity to benefit from the influx of students that have gained academic skills through adult education programs. In 2014, Virginia's Office of Adult Education and Literacy implemented the Career and College Readiness Standards to prepare students for career or higher education tracks. Since the VCCS is the fiscal agent of grants under WIOA, it is necessary for adult education programs to partner with community colleges. In doing so, adult education programs may gain access to the assets of community colleges, including its learning management system, career and technical education opportunities, and business partners. Adult education is the first step in a pipeline that carries an individual from foundational skills to training and onto a career. Plugged-in Virginia programs are an excellent example of how these partnerships can be done well. Bridging the skills gap details the shortage of skilled workers in today's economy. The primary focus of the new legislation is to close this gap and to provide worker training for the skills they need for a 21st century economy. WIOA expands the percentage of reimbursement for on-the-job training to 50%, making its programs valuable partners for businesses. States may provide additional reimbursement for on-the-job training, of which the Commonwealth of Virginia provides 25%. Adult education, working together with industry partners, has the potential to help WIOA eligible populations realize their employment goals. Adult education can provide the soft skills and academic training necessary to perform workplace duties. Local WIB board meetings are a great opportunity to form business partnerships. Many regional program managers and regional specialists are on the local WIB boards, and these meetings are open to the public. Keep in mind that WIOA mandates the dissolution of the WIB boards on July 1st, 2015, and implements the formation of workforce development boards with a minimum of 19 members, including one representative from adult education. Goodwill Industries provides services to Title I eligible individuals. Their services form the base of the Department of Labor model. soft skills training, job seeker services, and employment readiness training. Adult education programs can help provide the academic portion of this model, building off the foundational services provided by Goodwill Industries. At the 2015 VLLC conference, Jenny Bolte, the Director of Program Development for Goodwill of the Valleys, gave an inspiring presentation on how adult education providers can partner with Goodwill Industries. Labor management organizations are a potential partnership that allows adult education providers to meet the workforce development integration components of WIOA. Adult education providers specialize in the academic services that, in conjunction with on the job training, can form pathways to skilled employment. Organizations involved in deferred action for childhood arrivals, President Obama's November 2014 executive action on immigration, may also be a possible partner. Information on how this executive action intersects with WIOA will be forthcoming. WIOA mandates shared measures of accountability among partners. These measures will be further addressed in the State Combined Plan and in the forthcoming regulatory guidance letters. This level of shared accountability includes reporting results for the common metrics in a consistent manner across programs and funding streams in the shared framework. For instance, a participant co-enrolled in two funding streams would qualify to appear in a particular metric's numerator and denominator for both streams. If an individual obtained employment under one funding stream, he or she would obtain employment under every funding stream that supported her training. Consistent metrics applications could reduce the disincentive to co-enroll low-income, lower-skilled participants by clarifying how results will be calculated under each funding stream. This provides a strong incentive for programs to form partnerships across agencies. More information on this will be provided in spring 2015. In spring 2015, the Departments of Labor and Education plan to concurrently publish 5 notices of proposed rulemaking to implement WIOA. One of these will be a joint notice involving jointly administered activities including unified and combined state plans, performance, and aspects of the one-stop system. Another notice will implement the remaining provisions of Title I and Title III that are administered by the Department of Labor. 3 additional notices involve Department of Education programs, including one implementing Title II, Adult Education and Literacy, and 2 implementing the Title IV amendments to the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. These 5 notices will be published in the Federal Register and posted on www.regulations.gov, where public comments can be submitted following publication. The Departments of Labor and Education will analyze public comments and anticipate issuing final rules implementing WIOA in early 2016. Because many of the provisions of WIOA go into effect July 1, 2015, the Department of Labor's Employment and Training Administration will issue operating guidance in spring 2015 to support implementation. In addition, the Employment and Training Administration intends to issue targeted guidance documents in the spring, accompanied by technical assistance activities. Once issued, the guidance can be accessed at www.doleta.gov/WIOA. Once the rules and regulations are published, the Virginia Adult Learning Resource Center and the Office of Adult Education and Literacy will post guidance for Virginia providers. I can be contacted at franklin.kg@vcu.edu for any questions and concerns. Thank you.